In theme park news today, we got an announcement video from Super Nintendo Direct where they're talking about the upcoming expansion to their Super Nintendo World at Universal Japan theme park, where they're going to be adding a Donkey Kong Country expansion to the park. And this is something I'm really excited about seeing because I love theme parks, and I think what they're doing with this actually looks incredible, at least from what we've seen so far. And this is also something that you can expect to see at Universal Orlando next year when Epic Universe opens up, because unlike Universal Japan, where they had the Super Nintendo World, which was basically the Mario themed world first, and now they're going to be adding that expansion. At Universal Orlando, they're going to be opening up the park with both those areas already there. So this is for people who aren't necessarily going to go to Universal Japan but go to Universal Orlando. This is kind of a preview of what you can expect from that, and it's something, like I said, I'm really excited about. A Super Nintendo World Direct on Monday offered fans their long-awaited first look at the new Donkey Kong Country themed expansion, while announcing it will officially open December 11, 2024 in Japan. So that's only a few weeks away, so not too long before we actually get some more videos, I would say, of what this is going to look like. But like I said, so far from what we've seen, it looks pretty cool. The brief presentation, led by legendary designer Shigeru Miyamoto, provided an overview of the area's attractions, games, food, and merch. Among the things, Miyamoto showed off a Donkey Kong themed rhythm game that can be played with friends, and revealed how the park's wristband can be used to offering the letters spelling Kong. And that's because over at the Super Nintendo World, you have your wristband for the park that you can use to play with some interactive activities they have around the park. I think that's pretty cool right there. At least it's just something a little bit more fun to do, and it kind of links up with an app that you can play the games and have it go onto the app and things like that. Yeah, this is something I really like from the video too, and actually shows the Kong suit. And personally, this suit just looks fantastic here. IGN had this other, just had the video itself. Okay, so here's that Donkey Kong rhythm game that you can play with people. Yeah, just stuff like that. I mean, of course, when you're watching these videos, it's not necessarily going to be like this in the parks. In real life, there's going to be lines of people looking to play this stuff. And it's okay. Yeah, there's the wristband for the Kong. Links up with your app. Some of the food. This is the part. Having Donkey Kong there. I mean, I think that's a pretty impressive suit for a theme park. I don't know if it's just going to be for this video that they're using it, if that's going to be a character that's around the park. They say it's going to be around the park and that you can actually interact with them or get pictures taken with Donkey Kong, which I think would be pretty cool because, yeah, I mean, that just, that looks crazy. It's not like regular suits that people are wearing. I mean, I don't know how it's functioning or whatever. Probably some controls for the arms and stuff because there's not a whole lot of movement in the arms and hands, but still, I think it looks pretty cool. And that's something fun to have there. The presentation finished with the brief glimpse of the much-hyped Mini Kart Madness roller coaster, which will simulate the rail jumping action of the original game for the Super Nintendo. Fans will have to see for themselves how Universal Studios will pull that off, but Miyamoto promises that it will be a fun even for families who are normally averse to roller coasters. We got some videos on this in the past. There's this one that came out some time ago, just kind of showing what the ride would look like. So you can see it has like these gaps in the ride, but the cart itself isn't necessarily on the tracks. But still, I think that looks pretty cool. And when you're thinking about a Donkey Kong Country land like this, it makes perfect sense why they would do this land but have a roller coaster ride like this. Because I mean, if you're going to have a Donkey Kong Country area and you're going to have some type of attraction or some type of ride to have there, then yeah, this is like the perfect thing. It doesn't look like it's going to be an intense roller coaster like they said. It's just something that would be fun for the families or people who aren't necessarily roller coaster aficionados or anything like that, which to me, that's fine. A lot of these theme parks like this, well, Universal has some more, I would say, some thrill ride type things. Disney doesn't really have that kind of stuff, but that's fine. It's not really what it's about. Still, I think this looks like it'd be really fun to go on because, I mean, just look at that. That's pretty cool. They didn't show this in that video, though. They just kind of left this ambiguous. I'm assuming that it's going to be more along the lines of this roller coaster ride is what we're going to get at both Universal Orlando as well as in Universal Japan at their Super Nintendo Worlds. Super Nintendo World is approaching its 4th anniversary in Japan, having originally opened in December 2020. First details of the Donkey Kong Country theme park were announced last year with a tentative opening date set for spring 2024, so they had to push it back a little bit. It is now set to open on December 11th at Universal Japan, with the version of Super Nintendo World in Florida also featuring an area when it opens in 2025. And this is a map of the area that they're going to have at Universal Japan. So you can see their Super Nintendo World. So you enter it and have the Super Nintendo World with this Mario theming. You have the main ride that they have right there. And then you go through this pipe right here. And then it goes into the Donkey Kong Country expansion area. And to me, like I said, I think this is really cool. The theming that they had there looks fantastic. And it's something I think where Disney kind of did the wrong thing when it came to Galaxy's Edge, because I went there several years back and my impression was it's kind of cool, but it doesn't feel like it's Star Wars. I mean, there's like kind of like Star Wars elements to it that I think are okay, but for the most part, it didn't feel, it just kind of felt generic sci-fi sort of thing. And what I like about both these lands right here with the theming goes is that they feel like, or at least from what I've seen, it looks like you're actually just being transported to those locations where you can see things that are familiar with the games. And when you're going to a theme park that's modeled after something like this, whether it's a movie or a video game, that's, I think, what you should want is you want to make it feel like, oh, this is a place from the movie or the game, or it's like, I remember these locations right here, or I've seen this stuff before. I think that's what you need to give people. And so far, it looks like they're really knocking that out of the park with both these parks, because I know the Super Nintendo World, that's crazy popular in every place that they've had it in. A lot of people love it. And I think Donkey Kong Country is just going to be more of the same when it comes to that. So, like I said, I'm excited to see what actually happens with this, because this is something I plan on going to in the future, probably the Universal Orlando park, like I said. But I'm not ruling out Japan, because I've gone to theme parks over there and they think they do a pretty good job. So maybe I'll go there some other time down the road. We'll just see what happens with this. I'm also kind of curious where they're going to go from here, because you got Mario, you got Donkey Kong, and if you're going for like the holy trinity of Nintendo franchises, I would think the next thing would probably be Land of Hyrule or something like that at some other point. I don't know if they're going to do that. I haven't heard any announcements of them wanting to do a Land of Hyrule, but that'd be something that I'd really be excited about if you have like Zelda's Castle and other things like that in there. Who knows? It's obviously, this is me just speculating at this point whether they're going to do that or not. I just think that'd be pretty fun if they did that. Another idea I've heard of is maybe if they added like a Pokemon area to it. I can see them doing something like that as well. And I think that would actually be really good in theme parks, especially with a lot of the mobile games. You can have some promotional aspects to it, whether it's on the new trading card game or on Pokemon Go. You could do something with that if you had like a dedicated theme park land for that. So we'll just have to wait and see what they want to do with these expansions, if they actually want to expand it, because I'm assuming that's going to be the case. They're not just going to be like, yep, we got these 2 areas and we're done from here. I think they want to continue on with this. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Are you actually excited to visit these places, or would you want to visit these places if you had the opportunity? And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click the like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.